This is our front bed over to the right. We call this our pine tree bed. Here are some additional daisy mays, or I'm so sorry. These are Shasta daisies that we've gotten from a local garden center. This area is probably about to be pretty retooled. Some of these plants we didn't realize like wouldn't do well in straw, and that is exactly what we're gonna keep. This bed is straw. There was an additional pine tree. We have one right here that's at the edge of our property, and there was another one about right in here. And this was one of the ones that had fallen. Unfortunately, it had fallen into the road and blocked the road for a little bit. But between amazing neighbors and chainsaw, it was moved in just a few minutes after the storm. We did have in here a serviceberry, and that actually is probably loving its life a little bit more. If you can see, because it's getting a lot more sun than it ever had. It's out from under the canopy of the pine tree. This is a gardenia. This is doing really, really well. There's a ton of buds on here. I don't know if you can see all these. It's just a ton of buds. There's no drip up here, so we just do the best we can. This is an azalea, white azalea. This is a white hydrangea. I do not know the variety. We had two up here, but one did not make it. It was over in this area. But this one's looking very healthy. I don't know that this is going to remain a good spot for it because, again, it used to be under the canopy of the pine tree bed, and it might get way too much sun now. These are some gardenias. They are huge, but they incurred a good amount of damage from the storm. And as you can see, we still need to come in here and take care of like this limb. But it is beautiful and huge, and there are some gardenia buds still all over this plant. This area, we still need to come in here and weed a good bit, but this area had a good amount of hostas because it was in the full shade. Again, with that pine tree being gone, I'm not sure that this is a good spot for it anymore, but we will see. We did put in some calla lilies are coming back up. They used to frame out the bench, but I moved the bench, and now I don't know that they make sense right there, but we'll see. We did put in this deodar cedar, and actually, now that I'm looking at it, I think this thing has grown since we've put it in. It's added some, it has definitely put on some growth, so hopefully it likes where it is. I do wish we were able to stake it up to keep it a little straighter, but we'll work on that. We did put in a sourwood tree right here, and right on the other side of the sky is where the apiary is, so we're hoping all the bees will love it. That's the plan. We also did put in right here, this is its first year, and it was a baby when we got it. You know what, I am seeing leaves on it, so I'm hopeful. But this is a snowball viburnum, so hopefully that'll fill in this space very nicely. It does well in full sun, which is definitely going to get now, especially until, I mean, these get huge, but it's going to be like a decade before this thing is getting super, super big to be able to cause, this to be shaded, that to have a little bit more shade to it, the gardenias to give a little reprieve too. So, and then this sourwood is also thought to be able to provide a little bit of shade to that space. It is deciduous. Okay, so we're hopeful that this sourwood tree will produce a good amount of shade. It's on the other side of the apiary here. Again, it's going to be a while, and it is also deciduous. Up here we have a camellia, a white camellia. This is its first year in, and it'll take it, I think, a little bit to put on some growth, but we think it'll be happy up here. When we went to plant this one, it had like a natural split to it, so we did put one over here, but you can tell this one might have been too much of a baby to put into the ground. We originally put it in a pot, but thought maybe it's established enough to be able to put in the ground, and maybe we should have just left it in the pot. I don't know. It's okay. It would have just been an extra one anyway. So, you know, kind of is what it is. This is I believe, a vanilla spice summer sweet. There's two types of summer sweets like that. This one is, both are kind of white, but one is, oh, you know what? This one might be the more crisp white, and there's like a creamy white. One is vanilla spice, and I forget what the other one is, but this one is the crisper white one, and the creamier white one is I have in the back. This is another Snowball Viburnum. Again, the idea is for this to grow up and just fill this whole space in and be just beautiful. Behind it is an Invincible hydrangea, but I don't know that it's made it through the storm. I don't think it is. I think we need to dig that up. Hopefully there's life in it. Oh, I don't even know if you can see it. Let's see. Can you see that right there? There you go. We'll need to see if that can make it somewhere else, if it's got a little bit of green left to it. Here's another gardenia loaded with buds. It's a pretty white gardenia. We have our Shasta daisy, another Shasta daisy, and another Shasta daisy. We need to get in here and weed again. They grow so fast. This is a white camellia, and the idea is for this to add some vertical evergreen interest here. And then we have our Rose of Sharon, and then we have our other camellia on this side. Again, ideally to add some evergreen interest. I'm hopeful that both this one and this one will make it, just since it is in a little bit of like a formal like it's in a pattern. So like camellia, Sharon, camellia, and then we had the other camellia down here, but I'm not, like I said, hopeful it'll make it, but I'm not sure. Anyway, here, this was the thought for this bed. Still have a long way to go for this bed, but none of this existed before. And we did end up leaving this section. We stopped the bed here on purpose because the idea was to have the fence extended along here and along here. Y'all please excuse the weeds. I'm like seeing all the seed heads on top. It is what it is. But this is where this was all going to be a privacy fence here and here. And we were either going to put like gravel or concrete down here and then leave this open. Like an extended stand on the back of Brian's truck can go in here as well. So that's the idea of that. So we didn't have to go through a double gate every time we wanted to take the trash out. So that would be just right here, and it would make this area make complete sense once we completed the thought. Until then, it looks like we forgot to extend the bed or didn't get enough stones. But that was on purpose, and until we're done implementing it, it's just going to be fine looking like that. Let me see if I can find any buds on this Rose of Sharon. I don't know if it's time yet, but there are a lot of beautiful leaves on here. I don't see any buds yet, but I think they're coming. I think they'll be popping out buds soon. There are a lot of leaves on here though, so I think it's happy. So that's great. This is our mailbox bed from the opposite side. Like the street is right there. I was hopeful these would get a little bit taller than the boxwoods, but they're still really pretty, I think, to have them right here. Some are doing better than others, and even from the awesome prune job or cutting back job that Brian did on the boxwoods, they are filling in nicely again. But I love the just kind of sea of white that this provides. In front of these, we have some lantana. I've had a really hard time with getting anything to grow in this bed because it's just so close to the street. But these are white lantana, and they fill up this whole area. And I think I actually see green on all of them. That's an aster. Ooh, I don't know if I see any growth on this one or this one. Wow, wouldn't that be something if the two on this side didn't come back, but the two on this side did. Well, I hope that's not the case, but yeah, I'm happy for any proof of life. Hopefully they're just a little late to break dormancy. These don't look good. I don't see any green on them, but we'll remain hopeful. I've had a time with this bed getting something to grow, but here's some more salvia. We lost some. There was like 2 right here in this area that completed the half moon arch, but they did not make it. So it looks a little incomplete, but it'll get there. It'll get there. These white lantana were beautiful last year, so I'm hopeful they're beautiful again this year. This rose of Sharon does have some buds on it. If you can see, it's loaded with them. That is so exciting. This is right outside my office, so that makes me really happy. These dianthus were absolutely gorgeous. They still have a good amount of blooms on them. But I think what I'll do is come in here and cut some of these back to hopefully flush out another bloom. We have our juniper right here. It's a little worse for the wear just from the storm. It was like straight up vertically, and now it's a little crooked. But it does produce these really cool like berries. You can see it kind of has a lean to it from that, what we thought was going to be 30-mile-per-hour winds when we went to sleep ended up being over 100. So what are you going to do? These are some asters. They look like they're doing really well. So I'm happy with these. We've struggled in this bed as well. So I'm happy to see that doing well. This Sharon is just going for it. Like, it is grown so much, and there are so many buds. You see all those? There are so many buds on this plant, and I think they're about to be absolutely gorgeous. They're all the way to the top. It's amazing. Once they start blooming, oh my goodness, this is so big. I missed a branch that had fallen into here. I'm not even sure what tree this even could have been from, but there we go. Don't know how I missed that guy. It's just such a large plant. Actually, probably need to come in here and prune some of this so it doesn't get so bushy, but we'll see. Okay, we are gonna look at retooling this bed, extending it out completely, and this is our entrance to the veggie garden, and so I would really like to add a pathway all the way along, extend out the bed, oh, and create a pathway basically also over to these guys, which are the pear trees. Here's pear tree 1. It's doing good. It's leafing out. And then here, this ideally is not just in the middle of the ground. This is ideally all in a bed together. But for now, it just kind of looks like it's in the middle of the yard, but it's okay. But at least we have the rings around them. But this one is leafing out a lot too. And hopefully we'll provide pears. And hopefully we'll be able to get to them before any critters do. We'll see. This is one more snowball viburnum. I don't know that I see any green on this. Oh, it did. I just did a thumb test, scratch test. I don't know that it'll focus on it, but that right there is green. So there is life to this. So, you know what? I'm going to remain hopeful that this won't just look like a bunch of sticks hopefully for too much longer. Pull through, buddy. Pull through. You can do it. And then imagine a pathway here. Don't mind me pointing with the stick. Basically, we're back to the veggie bed and our hosta garden. This Woo La La, y'all. I'm impressed. All of these are troopers, man. Every single one of them. Just do a close-up. These hostas. Y'all, we had to move this one to the back because one, I wasn't sure if this one on a stand was the smartest idea because it was up a little higher and was getting more sun. And today was 76 with like an 86% humidity level. So, whew, it was cooking. It was cooking today. It's pretty hot. And, these hosta leaves are, I know a lot of plants are pretty resilient, but for these hosta leaves just to have that sun and that humidity level on it, maybe they like the humidity, but it was just extra hot today. And I said, you know what if we tuck this one back here and then brought this one down here so it was like lower and lower, but this one's so huge it really fills in that whole space still. So I'm pretty proud of these guys. I don't know if I've shown you the sedums, but they are rocking as well, so I'm pretty happy about that. They're almost like this perfect little mound. So cute. And then just, again, don't mind the grass back here. Got to figure something out with all this, but look how just perfect this little mound is. And these little guys, they're so cute. Even without the blooms all over them yet, I just still think they're so cute and add such fun interest. And sedums are great because they kind of want you to leave them alone. You don't fertilize them. You watch how much you water them. They kind of just want you to plant them and call it good and water them from time to time, which is pretty awesome. And they're just so cute. These are doing all right. This is an aster, a purple aster. This is an echinacea, and it's like a tricolor. It's like sombrero coneflower. So it honestly looks so much better than this for the last 2 or 3 years. But this is what was able to make it from the storm. And I'm hopeful it's gonna just hit its stride and just fill in this pot and be awesome. We're hopeful. These were some yucca that we propagated from the yucca underneath the Japanese maple tree. And that, it looks like some oregano back there that Brian's propagating. This is a Superbena sparkling amethyst that Brian's trying to save. I do think it's seen better days, but he said there's a chance, so we're giving it a chance. Anyway, this will be really pretty. Hopefully some purple asters. These are like a tricolor coneflower. They're like a creamy yellow, a pretty pink. They almost remind me of a sunset, like the colors of a sunset. They're really, really pretty. A little bit of purpley purple, a little bit of purple going on, and a little bit of, I hesitate to say red, but think sunset. And it's really pretty. So I'm hopeful it'll continue to be really pretty. This whole situation up here, I'm not really sure what's going on, but this is one more, or no. I think this is 3 yarrow. 1, 2, 3 yarrow that we've propagated, and it seems to be doing well and liking where it is because it's already trying to bud up with some flowers. So that's really cool to see. This rosemary is not happy, y'all. Not happy in the slightest. I don't know what is going on, but we tried to move it to this pot because it clearly did not like where it was planted. We tried to move it to just see if it would like a different place, and I don't know, guys. I don't know that that's going to make it. That's sad. But I won't end with that. We'll end over with this gorgeous hosta. This is Linda's hosta. Thank you, Linda.